I've missed you this week. I hope you've had a great week. I have a new friend with me today. He's a sloth. Everybody say hi. Can you say hi?
Hi.
He talks a little slow. Sloths are pretty slow though.
I get that from my parents.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
Your parents talked slow?
Yeah. I try to talk faster, but I mix up my words and it doesn't work out.
Well, you know what? We don't mind. We love you for who you are. So if you talk better slow, then we're going to slowly listen to you.
Thank you.
Now, my new friend is 6 years old.
6.5.
Oh, I am so sorry. He is 6.5 now.
I'm almost 7.
That is close to 7, yes. After 6 comes 7. I have a couple kids in PowerZone that is your age, your same age.
No way.
Yeah, they'll be so excited to meet you.
I have more friends.
Yes, you're going to have a lot more friends. And our PowerZone friends are some of the best friends.
Awesome.
So we kind of ran into a little problem, guys. He doesn't have a name. He's been called Sloth his whole life. And so I thought it would be really great if we could name him, give him a name that he can be proud of. And I know you guys have some great ideas. So if you want to drop them in the comments, and whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, just put them in the comments of what name you think is the best one for him. And then we'll pick one from it. Let me tell you a little bit about him. He's 6.5. He's very furry. He talks slow, like we said. He's got some long fingernails, and he likes to climb trees.
My long fingernails help me climb trees when I hang upside down.
You like to hang upside down?
I love to hang upside down.
Nice. Well, that's exciting. So guys and gals, I want you to think about it. Figure out what we should name him. Hey guys and gals, okay, last week I threw out a challenge to all of you to drop your name or have your parents or grandparents drop your name in the comments if you've been watching our videos, because I wanted to send out a special gift just for you. Now, only 4 put their name in there. So there's only 4 on our wheel of prizes. I have Romeo, Analea, Anakin, and Nafira. You guys all watched last week's video and made sure that your grandparents or parents or aunties, somebody put your name in there so that you can win a prize. So our sloth over here, our new sloth friend, I'm going to spin the wheel and he's going to read the name that wins. Ready for this? Okay, here we go. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Analea, you won the prize of the week. Your name was right here and picked. So congratulations. I'm going to make sure it gets to you. And watch for a challenge. You never know when I'm going to throw out another challenge. You guys want to be included in these cool prizes. Talk to y'all soon. So today we're talking about communion. Communion is something that we all do at church all the time. And I know you've seen us all do it before if you've been at our church. And our sloth friend here he's never experienced communion. So I thought it would be a great time to let him know what communion is. Good idea?
Yeah!
Okay, so communion is when Christians eat bread or crackers and drink grapefruit juice or grape juice at church. Okay? So Jesus taught us about communion way back before he died on the cross. Now, all the way back. in the New Testament. And it happened at the Last Supper. Remember when we talked a few weeks ago about the Last Supper, and it was right before Jesus died on the cross for us? Well, he was explaining to the disciples what he was getting ready to do, that he was getting ready to die, and that in 3 days after he dies, he was going to rise again, and he was going to be up in heaven and waiting for us there. Now, in communion, the bread or the crackers stands for Jesus's body, and the grape juice stands for his blood. Now, you've heard them at church and they said, okay, now take the body and eat it. Now take the blood and drink it. That sounds so gross, right?
Yeah.
And I remember when I was a kid, I used to think it was real blood and real body, but it's not. Thank goodness it's not, huh? That would be gross.
I would throw up.
Yeah, I think I would too. But what it means is Jesus wants us to look at this and remember the blood he shed for us when he died on the cross. And this right here, he wanted us to remember his body that died on the cross for us. So it helps us remember that Jesus is the center of it all. Okay, now, why do we keep doing communion? Because Jesus told us to continually remember him and the sacrifice that he gave a long time ago on that cross. And so we do it just to remember him and remember that sacrifice. But we don't want to just remember the sacrifice. We want to remember what happened 3 days later when he rose again. You see, he is not dead anymore. He rose again. He came back to life. He is now in heaven and he's waiting for us. That's pretty neat, isn't it, Sloth?
It's so cool.
It is. Now, before you take communion, see, communion is a very special thing. It's a very special thing that we get to do at church with all of our fellow believers and other Christians. And the Bible tells us in 1 Corinthians 11, chapter 11, it tells us that we must examine ourselves before we take communion. Now, examine.
What does that mean?
That is such a great question. To examine ourselves, it means you need to think really hard about what we have been doing in our lives. Now, is there anybody in our life that we need to ask to forgive us? That maybe we did something wrong to them? That's what examining our life means. But it also means, is there anybody that hurt me that I haven't been able to forgive? Because Jesus doesn't want us to take and remember this sacrifice if we have anything in our heart that isn't right. You see, he wants us to ask him to forgive us of our sins on a regular basis. He wants us always to have our heart right, because you know we're always going to sin, guys. I know that sounds horrible, but it's true. We all sin. We don't mean to all the time, and it's not good, and we need to try our best not to. But when we do, we need to remember that Jesus will always forgive us. But that doesn't mean just go out and do something wrong and then say, it's okay, Jesus will forgive me later. No, that's not what he means. He wants us to try our best to do good, but it's okay if we fail sometimes, as long as we just get right back up and say, Jesus, please forgive me. So examining ourselves, it means, Jesus, please help me see if there's anything in my life that's not right. If there's anybody that I haven't been able to forgive, or maybe I've done something to somebody else and I need to ask them to forgive me. That's what Jesus wants us to do before we take communion. And then that means that our heart is right with him. So then we take communion and we hold it up and we remember. We remember that Jesus' body and Jesus' blood was shed for us so that we can ask for forgiveness, so that we can have a hope to go up to heaven and live with him, that we can live happy and we can live blessed. So if tomorrow you're watching online service and we're doing communion with our pastor, and you want to do that also, get with your parents or grandparents. Ask them for something. It doesn't have to be grape juice. It can be anything at all. It can even be water, as long as you're remembering what it represents. Piece of bread, a piece of cracker, anything like that. And pastor's he's gonna pray over it, and he's gonna tell us when to eat it, when to drink it, and then we get to move on. But it's a great thing. It's a great opportunity that we get to have to remember what Jesus did for us and just keep him, like I said, the center of everything. So I hope you guys got something out of this. And if you have any questions, send me a message. I would love to answer any questions you guys might have, or talk to your parents, talk to your grandparents, talk to a sibling, a brother or a sister or something. Get their opinion. See if maybe they don't know what communion is. Maybe you can go share that with them. So, all right, guys and gals, until next time, bye.
Bye. It was nice meeting you all.
Good job. All right.